Hey guys, 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another Total Non-Stop Action TNA video here. We are now on the third week of October. We have this show, we have the Go Home show next week, and then after that we have Bound for Glory. Let's get cracking right in for the show. I think we're booked up. Where are we in this week? We are in the... Where are we? We're in the New Jersey Lewis Brown Athletic Centre in the Tri-State region. So hopefully we're getting about just under 8,000 fans. Let's get cracking on with the show. We've got 2 pre-show segments, 17 segments, and a post-show segment. We just try to get a couple of undercard, a couple of matches in the opening pre-show. Most of the show actually just advances storylines. And at the end of the show, we've got Billy Ray. He's not really doing anything, so I'm like, why don't you just say thanks to the fans for coming, so we can get a rating with that. So let's get cracking on with the show then. Let's run it. We start off with the pre-show. We've got EC3 taking on Sanada. EC3 wins after 7 minutes and 25 with the headlock driver, and that gets us a C- rating. No worker skills improving, but you know, it's a decent match. You know, it keeps up EC3's momentum. Sanada's pretty much just a jobber for me. I mean, if I want to keep pushing EC3 to the next level, I just need to keep getting involved in these kind of matches. After that, we've got some X Division action between Crazy Steve and DJZ. Only a D rating, but DJZ wins after 8 minutes 25 via submission. Again, it's 2 folk I want to kind of push, but I've got nothing for them. So we're going to try and push DJZ further down the line, maybe next year. After that, we've got an angle opening the show, which is Washington and Shad Gaspard are ambushing Abyss backstage. That gets a C- rating, and that advances the biggest storyline, the biggest monster storyline. Next up then, we have Gunner taking on Shad. Shad again getting this push, goes up to... He gets the D rating here. He wins via Magnificent. Again, he's there. Get Washington at ringside. It's just to try and push him as a really, really strong monster to make this Shad versus Abyss match work. So that got him over a little bit. We then move on to an angle. Shad Gaspard is celebrating his victory in the ring. Abyss runs in and attacks, beating Shad Gaspard down to the mat. So Abyss is getting revenge for the ambush earlier on. And again, the biggest monster storyline is advanced with this segment, that got a D rating. Angelina Love and Hawkins are plotting something backstage together, so they get a C rating. Obviously now, Angelina Love is Hawkins' valet, so they have a wee kind of relationship together. And then, in a match with some good action, but not much in the way of heat, Samoa Joe defeats Hawkins in 15 minutes and 1 second by submission with a Kakuna clutch after botched interference by Angelina Love. It gets the Hawkins versus Joe storyline further. As I say, Hawkins is with Angelina Love in this, although in the game the relationship is actually Samoa Joe with Angelina Love, so Angelina Love is going to turn at the end of this. So it's working towards that, and the C- is showing good chemistry between the two guys, and we're getting a kind of decent match out of them. And it's again, because of the interference, is keeping Hawkins quite strong. And then we've got Angelina Love. She's flirting backstage with Hawkins, basically just kind of apologising and making up to Hawkins, and that gets a C rating. In a match, they had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Davey Richards defeats Jesse in 8 minutes 21 by a pinfall via the DR Driver 2, a C- rating. Basically, it's to the tag title storyline over. Both tag teams get matches against each other. So Davey defeats Jesse in this one. We then have a backstage angle. Jeremy Borash is hosting a bikini contest between Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, Gail Kim and Beth in the ring. A C rating. Don't know who wins it, I don't think it says, I don't think it really matters. Jeremy Borash didn't come out good, so I might look at sacking him. Velvet Sky looked good, and it gets the ultimate knockout storyline to the next bit, because basically they're going to have a fatal 4-way at the pay-per-view for the title. And then in the second match of the tag teams, Robbie E defeated Eddie Edwards. The match had a run in from Jesse to screw Eddie Edwards. It was just to try and make it one each. Eddie Edwards was off his game. The announcing and colour commentary gave the match a boost and only got a D+, which is disappointing. So hopefully when the two of them get together as tag teams, you know, and we get the Bro Men against the Wolves, you know, we get a decent match and possibly a title change. Who knows? We then have Rhett Titus refuse to take money off of Kenny King. Kenny King obviously has seen his old tag team partner arrive in TNA. Obviously they're both X Division wrestlers, and he's like, well, do I fight you? Here's money, don't fight me. But Rhett Titus refuses. and they're going to have a match at the pay-per-view. And then we have Rhett Titus defeating Spud with the Muff Driver, or the Muff Diver even, sorry, after 4 minutes 57. A D-, they don't really click, right, so I know not to use them again. It's just to put Rhett Titus with a bit of momentum before the pay-per-view, so we'll not use them as opponents ever again. On this week's talk show, the Ross Report, Kevin Steen, who wears a neck brace from an earlier neck injury, confronts Austin Aries. As the two squabble, Austin Aries becomes fed up and slaps Kevin Steen right across the face, sending Kevin Steen spilling out of his chair and onto the floor. He picks himself up off the floor, proceeds to go nuts, storming off the set and returning with a heavy-centered viral tirade that leaves the audience gasping. Kevin Steen then grabs Jim Ross's coffee mug and tosses the contents into Austin Aries' face. Austin Aries shoots to his feet, an aggression which sends Kevin Steen running off set in terror. A stunned Jim Ross apologises to his audience and then makes a joke about the coffee. Basically, it's just like kind of Chris Jericho highlight reel type thing, but we're just going to have like the Ross reporters, JR sitting down with people to advance their storylines, so that get a C+ there. They're usually getting B- C+ stuff, so it's pretty decent. And it'll build up to their match again at the pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley and Bobby Roode are in the ring arguing. Bobby Lashley finally has enough and attacks him, eventually dragging him through a table to make a point. The segment ends with Bobby Lashley standing above the fallen Bobby Roode, a C+. Again, moving on that storyline, the plan is that these two are going to collide at Bound for Glory as well, in the main event match, so it's good to know that the feud's increasing between them. It should be good. And then another angle, Jeff Hardy's in the ring when James Storm comes out. He's refused the challenge that Jeff Hardy made for Bound for Glory, so that gets a C rating. Mr. Anderson, Ted DiBiase, and Mike DiBiase come to the ring and challenge Magnus, Redman and Rampage Brown in a 6-man match. That again will happen at the pay-per-view as Team America versus Team UK. They get a D rating, so it's not bad. I think Mike DiBiase is hindering the other two, but we'll see what happens. Another great match with AJ Styles, a B-, so we're using him well while we've got him in loan. And a match that had some good action and average heat. Jeff Hardy defeated AJ Styles in 16:33 with a twist of fate. During the match, we also had James Storm run in and attack AJ Styles. So James Storm basically made the botch and attacked the wrong person, and it gave Jeff Hardy the victory. Jeff Hardy's in the ring when James Storm comes out. He says, right, you know what? Right, I'll face you. And challenge you. He accepts the challenge and he'll face him at Bound for Glory. I get a C rating, and again it advances the storyline. So that's another match penciled in for Bound for Glory. The card's really started to come together. I'm not going to do the advanced booking, I'll just do all the match card when it gets to that week. The charismatic Billy Ray heads to the ring with a microphone in hand and welcomes the fans to tonight's event. Bit weird since it's the last segment and it's the post show. After thanking him for attending, Billy Ray then rattles a few shoot-style comments towards a couple of promotions rivals before he further displays gratitude to the fans by dropping to his knees and bowing to the various sections of the crowd. They turn in response by chanting the promotion's initials en masse over and over. So that's just the end. That was after the cameras were finished. Billy Ray just saying cheers for coming, we'll be back, such and such, and that got a C+ rating. So overall, we get a C+. That's pretty decent. My shows are starting to get new C+, C's. We're not getting any C- or anything like that now. We're starting to use TEW, from our years at EWR. The show increased our popularity in 22 regions and lost us popularity in 1 region, so that's good as well. We'll just hit the continue button. Now what I've noticed is because of the way that this is set up in OBS, you can't actually see when I read my email, so basically you'll just look like I'm looking at the menu screen here, but I'll just read off what it says in the email anyway, regarding just what kind of rating we get. From Spike TV, we had a good show last week which was a B-, so I think it's something like a wee bit higher than last week will be sorted, so I'll quickly read that out, what we got. Confirm, we jumped last week from 1.59 all the way up to 1.73, so that's a massive increase because of last week's show, and hopefully I can keep continuing with that, and hopefully we'll have a good go home show next week, and then we can have a massive show for Bound for Glory, hopefully not get chucked off pay-per-view, which it's been warning me of. If that's the case, with warnings again after the pay-per-view, we'll do the show, we'll do Bound for Glory, and then after that it'll be like no more pay-per-views until we build the company up and maybe look at our first pay-per-view again to be January 2015. So that's just the video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you're looking forward to Bound for Glory. And what we'll do in the next video is in the description we'll put the match card in and get people's predictions and whatnot. But until then, guys, thanks for those for watching. This is Put on Maxwell, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.